Hey guys, I'm Morthadon, and we are back for Symphogear, Season 1, Episode 2. I know there's more to the name, but I think it's easier to say Symphogear, and I'm also going to refer to it as the seasons. I know that the different seasons have different names, like G, XD, I've seen like stuff like that. I think for the sake of simplicity for my intro and stuff like that, I'll just keep doing like Season 1 or Season 2, Season 3, etc. But either way, we're on episode 2. Last episode was pretty cool. We got, a lot of info, right? We're diving into a new world, and rather than giving us an exposition dump on the first episode, they kind of gave us a bunch of action sequences, a bunch of words, a bunch of nouns, and stuff like that, and we're just left to be like, what does it all mean? This is the stuff that I love about these kind of shows, though. It's what I love about anime, is diving into a new world, a new universe, and learning its rules and limits and everything. So we have Hibiki, who seems to be dead in the future, but we're seeing what leads to that point, I guess. We had Kanade, who did die in the last episode in a flashback sequence, and then towards the end of the episode, we had Hibiki kind of awaken these powers when she was in danger. So how do they, we went into like the DNA sequence and everything, so it was like some Spider-Man shit. So I'm curious about how these, I wonder how much we'll learn. Is this something that's been in the world forever? Was there a point in the world where the noise didn't exist and none of these powers existed? Did it all come at the same time? How does it work? Why does singing seem to manipulate their powers and stuff like that? What is this Nehushtan armor? And we heard Gungnir when Hibiki was awakening. So many of these things. Zway Wing, which seems to be maybe just the power system overall, maybe the transformation that they undergo with that armor that they put on and pulling out a weapon and stuff like that. Is that considered the Zway Wing? It seems like it. And just all kinds of things, so much stuff, but I am excited to find out more and to watch this and see. So let's just get started with episode 2 and see if we get some more answers. So let's get started. We start here, guys, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. I hit my glasses. More noise. Oh, is this, yeah, okay, this is her awakening. Attuned. Yeah, she talked about, that's Kanade's, so... Oh, is this the opening? We didn't get an opening last time, right? Okay, that's a naked girl. Nice. Meteoroid falling. Burning something something. Yeah, so it seems like Hibiki might have gotten Kanade's form kind of thing. Well, based on that opening, that looks a lot like Kanade's as well. Thanks, opening. It's okay. We pretty much knew that already anyway. They just love this naked girl sequence, don't they? But at this point, there was one shot of that just booty. Well, She's gonna be what Kanade was for her. Is it because she's seen it before that she can just, like, sing and know that's how the power works? Or is it instinct? Superhero landing. Is she still singing? She is. Do you have to maintain singing? Jeez. Just chaos. To wield the power, do you have to keep singing? I'm guessing Shit, what was it? Tsubasa. Not Subaka. Tsubasa is... Oh, yes. As I was trying to think of her name to say she's probably going to show up. Transformation sequence, let's do it! She is fallen. She seems so much older, but Hibiki doesn't seem as much older. Guess it was like 2 years ago or something, right? Ah, the transformation sequence was fast that time. Oh, I love that sword so much. Blue Flash! Man, this is so nostalgic. Like, this anime was 2012, which is a while ago at this point. But, like, it gives me those vibes. Back to, like, cartoons when I was younger and stuff. I don't know. Shit. That's a big sword. Holy shit. Turns out that big sword she had gets bigger. Awesome. Big sword. Wait, there's some dude's job that is just to go around and vacuum all that shit up. Oh no, that means they have to vacuum people up. Oh, that's some dark shit. Never mind. I shouldn't laugh. Oh, and it fades. No, your drink! Why didn't you warn me about this? She just walks away. Yeah. An agreement? Yeah, okay. There's the classified stuff that I... Shit. Wow. Nope, well. Oh my god! Just handcuffs thrown in a car and taken. Could it be what I think then? I talked about this last episode in the discussion. Where they, like, fake her death, and that's why Miku thinks she's dead, but she's not actually she doesn't actually die. I love how this is like serious. Like this girl's like in custody being handcuffed, but it still like has that comedy factor. I think I know Hibiki's voice actress too. For sure, I feel like I've heard her in a few places. Yes, no smiles. What? This guy looks like someone from like a different anime. I feel like I've seen someone that looks kind of like him. You know, I've seen a very little bit of like oh shoot. The lawyer anime or game. Oh, I can't think of the name of it. Two things. I need you to die. Oh. That reaction. The second time we have that panning up shot with her yelling. I think that's a bit of an anime cliche I've seen a few times too. It's funny. Okay, so they let her go for now. Oh. Oh shit. So they stay together, huh? Is this like a school dorm kind of thing? Or do one of them... They talked about Miku's parents, so does Hibiki, like, not have any parents? Or anything? So she stays with her? I don't know. No. Good night. Sleep tight. Take a sip of water. So they haven't had to fake her death yet, so I might be very much wrong about that theory. I would have thought they've done it already if they were going to do it. This show just loves some naked chicks. I guess it is anime. Yeah, okay. Confirmation. Hmm. So they just call her Beaky as a nickname? Pancakes! like, like an anime character. I love that. I love when anime reference anime. I feel that way too sometimes. Oh. Okay. Handcuffs again! Just jump cut to handcuffs and then the elevator again. Nice. Oh, that's fun. Yes, I want to know too! The first relic. Shit. Hmm. Okay, so it wasn't. It kinda. The power seemed to give her the song, not that she just knew the song. Okay. The attuned. Okay, we heard that before. I get the gist. The Sakurai theory, naming it after herself. Did it get embedded in her? Yeah. Or not there. Sorry, it was right there. Damn, she's Iron Man. All right, typical superhero secret kind of thing. Interesting. Shit. That's a lot. Yeah, a bunch of complicated feelings that I don't think Hibiki really understands yet. Well, of course, more noise attacks. How often do these attacks happen? I mean, so far they seem to be happening a lot. That's crazy. Alright, our girl's brave. Maybe a little bit crazy. Oh shit. Hmm. He has a point. Pretty crazy. But damn, that's just probably people. Oh, they can merge! Alright. Time to briefly get naked. Yeah! Oh. Oh, wait, no. Wait, is this the ending? No, I don't think so. We're just actually getting the transformation sequence this time. I forgot that there's music in this show with subtitles that pop up for me at the top for the music. I'm used to that popping up for endings, right? I love her big ass sword. She hasn't manifested the weapon yet, right? She's used hand-to-hand combat. Blue Flash! Damn, she cut the ground, too. You're slowing me down. Oh, or that. Oh, each other? Well, that's not good. Well, shit. That was the ending. No, this is the ending. Did we? I don't know that we got this last time either. This is trippy. Reminds me of the Doctor Who tunnel. Ugh. What the hell? This is some creepy shit. There's like flowers coming from the body. That is some interesting imagery. Holy shit. What are these things? Is this part of the show or is this just art? for the outro. I hate it though. I don't know what any of that has to do with what we've seen so far, but that was crazy. Alright. That is it, guys, for episode 2. Well, that was not something that I expected to see. Man, and we definitely did not see that last episode because I would have remembered that. So we got more info, which is great. Definitely for sure. We got the classified bit, which like I mentioned last episode that I read the summary and it didn't mention that this stuff is like supposed to be secret at least, or it seems like the wielders of Symphogear is a secret, but the noise are not a secret, which makes sense that it'd be hard to keep something like that a secret. So we have 2 names for the people who wield the Symphogear. Seem to be called the Attuned, but then also they use the word a little bit later, Valkyries, as well. So, we have 2 of those. I still don't 100% know whether they need to sing the whole time, because it doesn't seem like, as the episode went on, I looked out for that, and in that last battle, she like sang while she attacked, but then they stopped and they still had like the gear on and stuff like that, and they weren't singing. So I don't think it's something where like the second you stop singing it disappears, right? I'm guessing just to like gain power and stuff like that you sing. So I'm curious how that works. Like, and obviously last episode we learned that Kanade had a song that made her seemingly more powerful, but at the cost of her life. So, as you like train and stuff like that, do you learn different songs that give you like different strengths? Like, it might be hard. I'm not good at picking up musical cues, but I'm curious, like, if there's certain parts of the song or certain songs that let Tsubasa use the big sword versus her smaller sword. Or is it something like that? Like, will we have like different weapons depending on the song that they're singing, kind of thing? I don't know. It's just all little ideas that went through my mind. But yeah, it turns out that big sword gets bigger because we had that point in the beginning where she had like that massive one that came down. That was crazy. But I made the joke and then immediately regretted it, realizing that like it was just funny, like just cutting to these normal people just vacuuming up the dust, which is like it seems like the noise turn into dust as well, but they also turn people into that dust, and it just dawned on me that those people have to suck up like the corpses of other people. Like that's pretty dark too. So that can't be a fun job on the mind, you know. It's kind of like that thing where like the people that work in like morgues and stuff like that clean up bodies and everything, is being around so much death it can fuck with your head, you know. So but yeah, those people on the street, the little girl that was involved and the mother and everything, had to sign like a form because of the classified info that they saw, and that's how big like, and they said like your freedom of speech will be limited and stuff like that. That's pretty wild, like that they need to keep it that much of a secret. And then we also had them later on in the episode, while we're talking about this, say to Hibiki that she can't tell anyone because like they need to keep like it'll endanger the people around her, friends and family and stuff like that. So like my question is what danger is there other than the noise, or are the noise smart? Because so far we've seen the noise kind of appear and attack anything. We haven't seen any level of like sentience to the point of being able to target loved ones, but is there? Like, it makes me think a little bit of the what was it called? Like the Rising of the Shield Hero or whatever it was called, that show, where they have these waves of enemies that come in, but some of the enemies that appear in those waves are more sentient and stuff like that, versus just the generic monsters that show up. So I wonder if there's going to be noise enemies that will be more humanoid and can either talk or like comprehend things like that, of like, you know, using people as hostages rather than just instantly killing them, or, you know, things like that. I don't know. It'll be interesting. Or are the noise just mindless killing machines, but the danger is because they mentioned like other countries and stuff like that, I think, like getting this information. So like, is the danger other countries and other organizations wanting to utilize this power for themselves of the Symphogear, so they try to, you know, do what they can. Like they take Miku and be like, if you ever want to see Miku again, you'll work for us, kind of thing. And say that to Hibiki. I don't know, but yeah, it's just it's an interesting concept that I'm looking forward to learning, because, you know, a lot of the times in superhero shows, they're scared about endangering the lives of their friends and family with the secret of their superpowers, because they also have these villains that are around that are smart and cunning and know how to utilize that. But if you don't have a villain that's like that, then, you know. So I feel like there must be something like that at some point in the show. So I'm looking forward to that as well, because it's all cool, like, seeing them slaughter these noise mindless killing machines. I feel like for the first couple episodes, it's very good to keep the noise simple, because we're learning about the Symphogear, the relics, all these powers and everything. And you don't want to like make the noise be very complicated and the power set be very complicated. You don't want to confuse the people too much, right? So they're keeping the noise very simple right now, but I do think it's possible that more advanced noise could appear that we learn about and everything as things start settling down with learning the power system and all that. So the reason she was able to transform was because there's like shards that are left over of, is it, I might have missed the line because some of the dialogue was going by real fast. But are the shards that are in her parts of Kanade's relic that got shattered in the attack, and got embedded in her chest? But it's also that they're so close to her heart that they couldn't get them out, which is very Tony Stark like, you know. But which is pretty cool. But yeah, so it's kind of like a, you know, a farewell gift from Kanade is what they said, and obviously any mention of Kanade seems to trigger Tsubasa. She's still in grief even 2 years later of losing her friend. Obviously, anyone would be, especially when someone shows up wielding the same power as your dead friend and everything. So I understand Tsubasa's reluctance and everything, and I guess I kind of understand the urge to fight her too. I'm curious where that goes and everything, but also, how do the people at like the headquarters handle two Valkyries fighting each other? Like, has that happened before? And if so, like, because obviously they seem to be kind of a, I don't want to say a precious resource, because I feel like that belittles them a little bit, but it doesn't seem like there's too many of these in the world to be able to combat this threat. So obviously you wouldn't want one killing another one, right? So I wonder what they do. Do they interfere? Do they let it happen? Do they know that Tsubasa won't get to the point of killing her, kind of thing? But yeah, I don't know. Very, very interesting. They talked about like that Tsubasa wields the first relic. I didn't get the name down. I don't know if it matters too much. Maybe I should go back and write it down. But they talked about these relics, like, in ancient history being created by these heretics, and, like, even though their science has like evolved to the point where it is now, the technology that they utilized back then still eludes them. So that gives us kind of this like ancient mystery power kind of thing, which could sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. It could either mean that as we go, maybe we discover new things and learn new things about that power and that ancient civilization that created it kind of thing. And I love ancient civilizations as long as we get to learn a little more about them, you know? But the bad thing is sometimes they use that as a plot device to be like, hey, we're just never going to go into that, you know? And like that's the stuff, like that past stuff is the stuff I want. Like I want them to discover like other like relics or scriptures or something that like talks about this, and we learn more about like how these were created, why they were created, and stuff like that. Like learning that kind of stuff is the stuff that keeps all this interesting for me anyway. But well, obviously we just gotta watch to find out if we do learn more about that stuff. But definitely fascinating whenever you have something that was created by civilizations in the past that, you know, the technology to like how to create it and info about it is just lost. It just fascinates me. And also like how ancient were these civilizations that created them, because if you think about how the gear manifests on their body, like it looks like pretty advanced looking equipment, right? Like if heretics created this in the past, like can you imagine like cavemen style, not cavemen, but if you think like ancient Greece or something like that kind of civilization creating something like this where people just transform into that shit, like that'd be crazy. Like people would revere them as like gods and stuff like that, I bet. So like I just wonder like what that was like, and if it was like that, maybe I don't think we've had any years yet. So it's possible that like the show right now is taking place in the year like 3000 or 4000 or something, and maybe their ancient civilization was like 2012 when the show was made, and so it's not as weird, right? Um but yeah, it's just super interesting. That's the kind of stuff that gets me all giddy is talking about this kind of stuff. So, but yeah, going back to the what we saw this episode a bit, we saw that Hibiki and Miku were staying together. I don't know. We saw Miku's parents, right? Because the father, I think, was reading the newspaper and stuff like that. So does that mean Hibiki is staying with Miku, or do they live like on campus at school? Is that what that was? Like maybe Miku went home to see her parents or whatever. Maybe that's not where they're both staying. Maybe they both just stay on campus, and Hibiki has parents off somewhere too. But yeah, I don't know. I'm sure we'll learn more about that as we go. But it was just interesting to see them like staying together like that, or they were just having like a sleepover or something. You know, like kids do that stuff. So, but yeah, as if you guys happen to be new to my reactions and stuff like that, fan service in anime always gets me like a little weird, depending on the anime. Like I'm okay with fan service when I know the characters are adults, because I'm a 30-year-old man, so it's awkward when they strip all the clothes off of, you know, I mean, Hibiki seems like she's either a middle school or a high school student, and either way, that is awkward for me. So it's the same with some other anime I've watched, like Shin no Nakama and stuff like that, where they said later on that the character was 17, but she didn't look 17, and it was just weird whenever they would do like the bath scenes and stuff like that. Now Tsubasa seems to be also in the school, so she looks a little more mature, which was a little less awkward with her shower scene, but Hibiki just looks like a little kid. And I mean, even Tsubasa's was a little awkward for me. So if I ever get a little awkward around those like fan service scenes, that's just why, because I'm just a 30-year-old man looking at these. You know, obviously they cover the important bits with either light or whatever, but it's still it's still just a little bit awkward for me. So, I've seen enough anime where it doesn't like it weirds me out a little bit, but it doesn't ruin it for me anymore. When I was first getting into anime, a long time ago, even when I was younger, watching it still weirded me out, like, so much so that I almost didn't want to watch the show anymore. But I guess I've just become a little bit more degenerate, but I'm not degenerate enough to be like, I don't know if people are, like, attracted to that, you know, where they're like, ooh, yeah, that's hot, you know. I don't know what people think, like, when they normally watch that kind of thing. So it was just one of those things, like, for me, it was just a little weird, you know. But I'm still very much enjoying the show despite that stuff and everything. And but yeah. Oh man. So really, the last thing I have to talk about, I think, is... Oh, sorry. No, one more thing before I get into the outro. I was going to talk about the outro, but they talked about how Tsubasa has been trained since she was a little girl for this. So I guess, did they find Tsubasa when she was young and find out that she's, like, compatible with this relic? Because obviously it doesn't seem like everyone's compatible with the relic. It's not like you just put that necklace around anyone and they're able to wield it. So, did they, like... I wonder where Tsubasa came from. Like, do these people just test kids for, you know, possible Valkyrie, capable subjects kind of thing? Or was she specifically, like, bred? Was she, like, cloned or like, test tube babied or something like that in a way that, like, allowed her, like, to be genetically modified to be able to wield this power or something like that? Or, you know, I'm curious about that, like, hearing that since she was very young, it doesn't sound like she just stumbled into this like Hibiki did. She was trained for it. So that's just interesting as well. And I'm sure as we learn more about Tsubasa, we'll get those answers, right? So but yeah, going into the outro, that shit was crazy. Like, I've seen a lot of anime where the endings are just, like, sometimes openings, and sometimes, like, a lot of the times the endings are a lot more, like, artistic nonsense, I should say. So I wonder if it's something along those lines where it's not actually, like, are we ever gonna see, like, do the Noise ever represent themselves as these, like, disembodied, creepy dolls or something? I feel like no, based off, like, the art style and the vibe of the show. I feel like that outro was a artistic thing rather than something we're actually gonna see in the show. But if we do see some of that stuff in the show, that would be some crazy shit. Like, that's the kind of stuff that, like, I want some, like, creepy horror anime with, like, that kind of stuff in it more, you know? But obviously that doesn't need to be this, so... but either way, I was just curious. And one other thing I thought of while I was talking about that is, I like the extra lightheartedness stuff of, like, because, you know, people are dying, it has some dark moments and stuff like that, but I appreciate the goofiness of, like, Hibiki being thrown in this situation and, like, just handcuffed, thrown in the car and drove away, and she's just yelling in the back seat. Like, there's a lot of this that brings me back, not just anime, but, like, cartoons as a kid. I get a lot of, like, there's something about the way they handle the comedy in this that is just really nostalgic to me. And that nostalgic feeling is another thing that's really making me enjoy this, because I feel like not many anime do this kind of, like, not many anime or cartoons do this not nostalgic to me feeling comedy anymore. And I really appreciated it. And I like the, you know, panning up to, like, the stained glass kind of looking thing from that elevator with, like, her yelling, and then we went back to it again a little bit later. That was really funny. But one more thing I wanted to do, I know I keep saying one more thing, I wanted to look up Hibiki's voice actress, because I feel like I've heard the voice somewhere, and I always like to see voices. I like to see if I actually do recognize the voices or if I'm just crazy, because often enough, I'm just crazy. There's a lot of voice actresses that sound very, very similar to me. Let's see, Tsubasa. So, Aoyuki. What other roles do you have? Do. Let's see here. A whole bunch of things that I do not recognize so far. Tsuyu Asui. Man, I should have said it because I was like, I'm picturing a My Hero character when she talks sometimes. Yeah, so she's Tsuyu Asui from My Hero. Wow, she also plays 2 other people from Class B in My Hero as well. Damn. Are there any others? Curious. Let's keep going. Oh, what the hell? She voices Shinra from Durarara. Nice. I didn't even realize that was a female voice. Oh, she's Tamaki from Fire Force. I'm watching that right now as well. So yeah, she's in a bunch of things that I recognize. I know a lot of female voice actresses play guys in anime, especially the younger guys and stuff like that. It's just interesting whenever I see it. I'll look at like maybe one or see if there's like one more show I recognize from. Oh. She plays one of the creepy twin girls from Demon Slayer. Oh, she was the sister of oh, I can't remember the name. But the deaf girl in Kono Katachi, she was she played the sister. That's nice. That's really cool. Nice. Oh, she was also Deanne in yeah, so she's played a lot of roles that I recognize. She was in One Punch Man as well. By the way, she was Deanne in Nanatsu no Taizai, so very cool. Nice. All right. Well, I think I've seen enough. I'm sure there's more shows in there that I've seen her in, but cool. I like. It's always really interesting to kind of recognize a voice, look at the roles, and be like, "Holy crap, she was in this," you know. So, but anyway, that is going to be it for me, guys. I think for episode 2, very much enjoyed it. Still, very much enjoying the world and the craziness. I never thought of the lawyer. I don't know that it's an anime, but I know it's a visual. I'm pretty sure it's like a visual novel. I think they're called, or something like that. That does like lawyer and court stuff, like the objection thing, you know. But what was his name? Genjiro definitely reminds me of a character from that universe, right? Like I could just see him being like a lawyer in a courtroom yelling objection, you know, or something like that. Man, it's bugging me that I can't think of the name of that, because as soon as I'd hear it, I'd be like, yes, that's right. But it's just not coming to me right now. So, but anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you are not already watching it on there. If you are watching it on there, thank you so much for the support. Very much appreciate it. But if you're not, you can get access to the rest of this show, at least the rest of Season 1, as I said at the beginning of the first episode. I probably won't be doing Season 2 after this right away, but I will at some point. So you can at least get access to the rest of Season 1 right now on my Patreon if you're watching this on YouTube. So thank you guys so much. Link in the description to that below, or it should be popping up on the screen. And I will see you guys in my future reactions. Bye-bye.